Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to elaborate about educational plight. The plight of education in India has gone into hell in hell basket, hell in hand basket. We all can understand, we all can agree. Education is totally in hell in hand basket because education of India is no match with education even in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, and all other micro-state, we can say, very inferior nations in comparison with India. India has been progressing rapidly with a meteoric pace in all other fields, economic field, scientological field, but education field has been neglected, education field has been totally ignored and totally forsaken by authority, by parents, by pupils, by pedagogues. Nobody raises any kind of hackle against the plight of education. Students cannot write their own vernacular language. They cannot write in their vernacular language, meaning Gujarati student cannot write in Gujarati, let alone English or Hindi. Their IQ is totally at their ankle. IQ may be around 65 to 75. That is not IQ at all. That is the IQ of a totally ordinary person who is cyber, who is peddler, who is ill-educated person doing menial job. Fourth category person in India. That kind of person has 65 to 75 IQ. I have been in this business for the last 25 years. Before going to America, I was principal over here. At that time, education was different. Teachers were different. Educators were different. Educationists were different. But after coming from America in 1997, I started tutorial class, and I have taught more than 10,000 students so far. And I have seen their plight. And the plight is not due to their own responsibility or due to their own behavior towards education, but that kind of plight is actually caused by the teachers. Teachers have neglected them. Teachers have ignored them. Teachers don't have that kind of caliber or quality to teach them. But when they come to my institute, I teach them how to speak in English, American English, how to write, how to read. Their IQ jacked up, and even they score very good 6.5 or 7 bands in IELTS. And around 1,000 plus students have already left India for Canada, Australia, England, and many other places. Meaning, students are willing to learn. Their minds and hearts are open to imbibe every single thing the teacher throws. But here the problem is the teachers don't have anything to throw at them. We have a saying in our vernacular language, Kuva Mahoy, Tovera Ma'ave. Now here our kuvas, our wells are dried up. So these dried up wells cannot actually do anything, any better thing, anything good for the students. If the teacher does not have knowledge, how the student can get knowledge from him? That is a question we all have to ponder about. Now, title is How to Punctuate Dreariness in our society. How to punctuate means how to stop, how to relent. This kind of dreariness, sluggishness, lethargy in education. Education field has become totally lethargic field. Students are willing to do everything 4 to 6 or 8 hours. Give them the mobile and they will be stuck to mobile and they stick to mobile and they glue to mobile 24 hours a day. But give them a book, they will hardly read longer than 10 minutes. Why this kind of lethargy or this kind of dreariness? Because inspiration is missing, motivation is missing. And that is why I would actually blame the teachers for them, educators and educationists, not pupil. Pupil will learn if the pedagogue is going to teach them. Students are willing to learn every single thing if teachers are willing to teach them every single thing. I teach my students from 8 in the morning till 8 at night. And there are multiple students who spend 4 to 6, 8 hours every day. Meaning, if teachers are willing to teach them longer hours, students are willing to learn longer hours. If the teachers are willing to teach them 35 minutes, babbling in the class, just passing away their time, that students are not going to demand, they are not going to raise any heckle, they are not going to protest or demonstrate to teachers, hey teacher, teach us 1 hour or 2 hours and proper education, proper knowledge, proper learning, proper teaching. They are not going to say that we have to motivate them. Teachers have to motivate students. Students don't motivate teachers. Teachers have to motivate students to learn longer, to learn harder, to put more efforts, to put more endeavors, learn better, prepare them, invite them, attain them, and retain them. If teachers are inspiring the students are definitely going to be inspired. If teachers are lazy, lethargic, slow, sluggish, and absolutely turned off, educationally, that the students are not going to learn anything. They are also going to be slow and sluggish in the class at home. I have prepared 5 points pertaining to punctuate dreariness. My point number 1 is revamp mundane education system from the grassroots level. Now here we need government. I mean strict Spartan government, motivated government, edu-oriented government, inspiring government, iconic government that they should take a look into the education, take a deep look into the education and find out that education is not worth a salt. Like Narendra Modi has been saying that bhar vagarnu bhartar, you know it, but you don't want to do anything about bhar vagarnu bhartar. He thinks that his responsibility is only to go for rhetoric, only to say this quotation and put this quotation on the banners and everywhere as advertisement that Narendra Modi cares. No. Speaking few words is not caring. Doing everything about it, erasing everything. Delete this bharvaganu bhantar and put bharvaru bhantar. Delete bharvaganu bhantar and replace it with bharvaru bhantar. Substantial education. That is bharvaru bhantar. Now we don't have substantial bhantar, substantial education, and the government can do that. Revamp this unsubstantial education from the grassroots level and replace it with substantial education in place of unsubstantial, absolutely shallow, fluffy education. Point number 2 is dilatory work ethics. Now, every teacher takes about 6 months to a year, semester or 2 semesters to finish one lousy 100-page book. 100-page book teacher is taking whole 4 to 6 months. That is sheer waste of his time, his energy, learner's time, learner's energy, every single thing. 100-page book. If teacher is smart, that he can read 2 pages in 2 minutes means 1 page in 1 minute, and the whole book can be completed within 100 minutes. Okay, we can go maximum time the teacher can take 200 minutes. All right, stop. 500 minutes. 500 minutes if you divide by 60, it is about 4 hours. Teacher can read entire book within 4 hours, and the entire book can be explained to a student within no longer than 1 week or one fortnight. All right? Top. Maximum time teacher can take is 1 month. Teacher can explain every single thing about the book within 1 month, and within 4 months, 1 semester, he can teach 4 books. But no, they don't want to do that. They are lethargic. They are slow, sluggish. So what they do, they have dilatory work ethic. Do every single thing slow. Every day, half chapter. Next day again, half chapter. Then one day just talk about here and there, babble about every single thing, gossip and go for fluffy talk about every single thing to please students, to propitiate students, and waste the time. Third day again, half of the chapter. This way, they finish 1 chapter in 1 week. Roly-poly, slipshod, haphazard way, they finish 1 chapter. That dilatory work ethic must be eradicated, eliminated, wiped out, deleted, erased from our education system by the authority, by the edu-motivated, inspiring authority, result-oriented, caring and sharing authority. Point number 3, commodification of education as fatal factor. Everywhere education has become commodity, commercial-based education. They're selling education at a very outrageous price, outrageous rate, outrageous fees. They charge 25, 35, 45, 50,000 a semester and teach roly-poly way by roly-poly students, roly-poly teachers and by roly-poly curriculum, roly-poly classes, roly-poly educators and roly-poly educationists. Students are not being genius. Their IQ is not jacked up. Whatever they teach the student to cram, to just rot it, just to claim it and vomit in examination. Whatever they learn, whole year they vomit it out, they puke it in examination, they throw up in examination, and after examination, if you ask them any question about 1 chapter of any 1 book, they don't remember a thing at all. So, commoditification has actually devastated Indian education because nobody is willing to give education, but everybody is willing to sell education at the highest bidder, to the highest bidder at the highest extraordinary, outrageous, outrated price. And that has created 2 classes, alpha and epsilon in India. Alpha class is the one which can afford all kinds of education at any rate. Epsilon class is the one which just cannot afford education, and that's why parents send their kids to government school, public schools where there is not even a shred of education is imparted. So this way, as Huxter has said in 1927, that eventually 2 classes will emerge in every society. 1 class would be alpha. That would be ruling class. That would be class with power and plutocracy. They will have everything. And the 2nd class will emerge. That would be epsilon. They won't have anything. No education, no power, no plutocracy, no nothing. They would be enslaved by alpha class. And that is where India is heading. India is heading in the direction of 2 distinct classes. One on the top, other on the bottom. One on the apogee, other on the perigee. One on the nova, other on the nadir. One with everything, other with nothing. Now, point number 4. discourage kiki campus culture of single mingle. You know what the educators and educationists who are owning and operating all the colleges and university, they administer it, they run it, they spend money on building huge five-star colleges and university, and then they are actually selling the seats, selling education, and giving them kiki culture on the campus for youth, for teenagers who are allured by them to come to their college. They will enjoy the campus, they will enjoy the autonomy, they will enjoy total liberty, they will have single mingle over there. Girls and guys are going to have fun over there. They can have kiki culture over there. They can have facility for dating, privacy. They can just go in any corner of the college and sit next to each other, enjoy communication, enjoy contacts, enjoy every single thing that they want to enjoy. This kind of vulgar environment is actually encouraged by the authorities. Authorities know every single thing is going on over there, but they turn their deaf ear. They actually act like they are blind to all that promiscuity, vulgar promiscuity is going on between teenager girls and teenager boys. And kiki culture is encouraged by them, and campus culture is totally vulgarized. Point number 5. Result-oriented, productive, Neolithic education. Education is not something that we can call habitual education and education. Education is not mundane, should not be mundane. Education should be productive. Education should be creative. Education should be lateral. Education should be Neolithic. Education that students can use in the society to jack it up. Education means students, or education means graduates and postgraduates, can use it to better themselves and jack themselves up, promote themselves in the society. Education means graduate and postgraduates should know every single thing about economy, about politics, about progress, about social issues, about philosophy, about psychology, sociology, whatever the subject they have studied in. They must have adequate amount of knowledge about that particular domain, their own domain, and they should be able to do it. They should be able to better the society. They should be able to make society progressive. They should be able to prosper the society. They should be able to prosper themselves. They should be able to utilize their knowledge, their IQ, whatever they have derived in their college years. Today, there is no such a thing at all. Education is mundane. It is not result-oriented. It is not Neolithic, but it is Paleolithic. It is not lateral, but totally ancient type of useless knowledge that was given to the students probably about century ago, 100 years ago. This education is not useful education, productive education, creative education in 21st century. So, these are 5 points of dreary education, which must be punctuated by the government or in unison of government, pedagogues, pupils, parents, educators, and educationists. All of them should consolidate themselves, cooperate and collaborate with each other, and create a kind of unison to address educational question, because John F. Kennedy, American 35th President of America, has said, your nation cannot progress faster than your progress in education. Your nation cannot progress swifter than your progress in your education. Meaning, if your education progress is slow, your nation will progress slow. If your education will progress rapidly, your nation will also progress rapidly. So that's all the time we have today. Tomorrow we're going to talk about something else. Until then, God bless everyone on this planet. Amen.